Hello, so today we're going to be talking about the equation of a circle. We've been spending a lot of time recently talking about circles. And actually, we can graph circles in the coordinate plane. So as a reminder, the coordinate plane is the XY coordinate plane, just like that, with that being X and that being Y. And we have points on the coordinate plane. They're always given in parentheses, X comma Y. And we need to know that this point right here, that where they meet, is called the origin. And it's the point 0, 0. Okay, so the equation of a circle. If a circle has a center of 0, 0. So a center is the origin. Then the equation is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. And r is equal to the radius. Okay? But I can also shift circles where the center is not the circle. So if I look at an equation like this, with the center not the circle, it'll look something like this. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So now if you look at the difference in the equations, you might say, okay, well, wait a second. This equation has an h in it, and this has a k in it, whereas this one doesn't. And in this equation, x squared plus y squared equals r squared, the center is the origin. So hopefully you might be putting 2 and 2 together now and saying that the center of a circle in this form is h comma k. Now it is the opposite sign of whatever's in the parentheses, so we change in terms of the signs. And the radius is still r. Okay? All right, so let's use that. It says write an equation of a circle with the given radius and center. Okay, so I know my center is 1280 and my radius is 5. So this is the x, this is the y. So that would give me x minus 12 squared plus y minus 80 squared equals r squared, so 25. All right, let's try again. I've got a radius of 9 and a center of 612. So it would be x minus 6 squared plus y minus 12 squared equals 81. Now notice again that the HK, I'm putting in the opposite sign to the point. All right, here's one with negatives in it. Okay, so this one will become, x plus 1 squared plus y minus 15 squared, because that negative 1, I want to put the opposite side in the parentheses, and it would equal 12 squared, which is 144. All right, you try the last one. Pause and try it. All right, so if you did it, you should have gotten x minus 8 squared plus y plus 7 squared equals 16. All right, so that's how you write the equation given the center and the radius. What about identifying it? Okay, so we can still do that. You've got this, okay? So I look at it and my h and my k. That's going to give me the center. And again, it's going to be the opposite sign. So 624 would be my center. Now you got to be careful with the radius, because remember, this is r squared. So to find r, I have to take the square root of that number. So the square root of 25 is 5. All right, B, looking for the center. Center would be 942. Remember, we take it from the h and the k, opposite signs. My radius would be the square root of 49, so 7. All right, you try the next two. All right, so you tried those and you got your center to be negative 817 and your radius to be 1, because the square root of 1 is 1. All right, the last one, try it. All right, so you should have gotten a center of 10, negative 9, and a radius of 8. All right, so those are examples of finding and using the centers. I could also ask you to graph an equation of a circle. So the first thing that I always tell students to do is to state the center and the radius, okay? State the center. So the center in this case would be negative 3, 2, and the radius would be 2. All right, so I'm going to plot the center. So I'm going to go to negative 3 along the x-axis, so 1, 2, 3, and then up to 1, 2. And I'm going to plot my center, and I might even put a little C for center. And then I'm going to go, my radius is 2, so that means from that point I got to go 2 in all directions. So I'm going to go vertical and horizontal. So up 2 and put a little point, to the right 2 and put a little point, down 2 and put a little point, and to the left 2 and put a little point. And then I'm going to connect it with a circle. And I apologize. It's very hard to do this on this little sheet. All right. So now let's look at the next one. You try it. All right, so hopefully you paused and you tried it, and so you noticed that your center was 3, 1, and your radius was 4. All right, so we go to 3, 1, so 1, 2, 3, 1. I'm going to put a C. Our radius is 4, so I'm going to go 4 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And then I'm going to connect them with my circle, and there I've graphed my circle. All right, guys, that's it for today. That's our little short lesson on equations of circles. I will see you tomorrow in class.